My dad died because of a seizure when I 17 was 6. My mom and I were there for the whole thing and it was traumatic. Mom started dating again a year later, but she didn't meet her husband until I was 9. They dated for something like 5 months before they started doing stuff with me and his kids. I struggled hard with him and his kids' presence. For me, the hardest parts were changing things so that we had time for them and including them in the family. It bothered me worse when Mom wanted my paternal relatives to get to know them and treat his kids like they were more grandkids and cousins. For me, that showed in really weird ways. I wasn't sleeping good and having bad dreams. I was losing focus in school, and after a while I would puke whenever we were supposed to spend time with them. It wasn't intentional either, but I would get so worked up I'd puke a ton. My mom talked to me about it and I got mad about her letting them take over our life, and I told her I hated how much we saw them and I didn't want that, and they weren't my family and they needed to stay away from daddy's family and stuff like that. Mom walked away and didn't address it for weeks. I don't know how long it was exactly, but she was distant for weeks, and then she said she had decided to send me to a therapist. I did a few sessions alone with the therapist and she included my mom in too, and then went back to just me. She spoke to Mom a few times and gave me a heads up in advance and asked if it was okay to share things I had said. I was fine with that, so she went ahead and did that. Over 2 years I talked about a lot of stuff with the therapist and with my mom. I did different kinds of homework, and eventually Mom moved in with her husband and married him. She stopped trying to involve my step-siblings in my daddy's family, and I stopped resenting them existing in our space at all. Mom agreed to doing one-to-one time with me and doing things to remember Dad on his birthday and Father's Day, but she never did those things. I agreed to spend time with her husband's kids to try and get along better, and I did for a while, but I stopped after a few months. Those things meant we lived together without fighting, but we didn't blend either. I accepted her husband and his kids were with us now and technically a part of the family, but I didn't work on developing relationships with them individually. For the last 2 years, my mom has been open about resenting me because I needed therapy. She said she feels like it was a waste of time because we never blended, but she admits to resenting me for not just being happy for her and being an easy kid who was happy to have more family and embraced it without the added stress. I ignored her when she said those things for a long time because her side of the family would address them and remind her I wasn't her, and as a parent it was her job to make sure I was doing okay. The other night she got really resentful after one of her husband's kids said something about not really knowing me. My mom asked me what she did to deserve the difficult kid and the kid who needed therapy and couldn't be happy that his mom found love again.